Whew, that was very interesting. Unbelievable. This wordsmith has linked together about 12 words in a way that has touched me deeply. Wow, that was very fascinating and also funny on many different levels, both spiritually, politically, culturally, personally, and universally. What an astounding author this person is. Let's see what else is going to happen. Wow. Wow. I did not expect those chain of events to lead to this preposterous yet enlightening conclusion. Oh, hi. Welcome to another episode of Smoking Over Here. I was just reading one of my favorite authors, James Bradley William Shakespeareton, and it's quite a read, let me tell you. Let me just put this back into my library. Anyway, I know it's been a long time since I updated you, and I'm sorry to disappoint you, but you know, life takes you into different directions, and you have to follow your heart. So I did. And I haven't stopped thinking about the show. I just felt it needed to go into a new direction. How far can I just take the smoking thing, by the way? You know, I did cigarettes, I did pipe, tobacco, and, you know, I could do cigars. I could show you how to roll your own cigarette, which we will still do. And we might mix them up a little bit, but I wanted to branch out. I wanted to add different things. I wanted to go on adventures with you, maybe do some interviews, talk to other smokers about smoking, talk to other people who don't smoke and why they don't smoke. What are they doing? And today, I think I'm going to branch out a little bit and start with tips. How to change a flat while smoking a cigarette. Smoking and fishing. How to make a good burrito while smoking a cigarette. Smoking and coffee, for example. Smoking and yoga. Smoking and different drinks. Different drinks you can have while smoking a cigarette. You can sit there, you can do all kind of, I can take this all over the place, no problem. Bam, bam, bam. And it can all revolve around me smoking, but branch out into a universal world of all kind of different interesting things, alright? So follow me, please. Today, we're going to mix it up a little bit, alright? First, let me put this one out. We'll save that for later. And that's a tip, by the way. Sometimes you smoke out a cigarette, you can stick it right back here in the ashtray like that, bam. Later on, you want to finish it, it's right there. First, let's talk about cigars. Something I never did on the show before. You just pour it out and you discard this. You don't need it anymore. Boom. Alright, now you got this big beautiful cigar here. You want to smell it? It smells very good. And then you want to, what you're supposed to have is a cigar cutter, but I don't have a cigar cutter. So what I use is a steak knife. Works just as good. You take the steak knife right here, you line it up, start sawing away at it, boom, boom, boom. You don't even really have to cut it off. You can just kind of jab at it, make a little opening, and you get that out of there, bam. Now we got a cigar. First you hold the cigar out like this. This is the way I like to do it. You light your Bic, You get it nice and toasty. You let it just flirt with the end of the cigar. You just let it get in there. Heat it up, but don't pull back a little bit. Let it come back in. Get it in there. Whoa, now it's starting to get toasty. It's like roasting a marshmallow. You don't want to get you don't want to go too far in. You just kind of woo, woo, and you get it in there like that. Alright, now we're kind of getting a little toasty here. It's smoking a little bit, looking good, smells good. Now you go. Now you get it in there, get it in your teeth. Whew. Now you take your vodka drink, you take a sip, you just relax. The good thing about a cigar is it's big. I like to take a deep drag and let my lungs fill up with the smoke and just let it, you know, you don't have to be, some people like to be real hot shots when they're smoking cigars, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that, and I'll show you how to do that right now. You just go like, hey! Peter Bradley Shakespeare is not a better author than William Shakespeare. However, he's a lot more relatable than William Shakespeare because he grew up in our time. What do you think of that? Then you blow it out, you get like real exaggerated. You get more exaggerated. But me, you know, I'm a lot more laid back. I like to do things like, I disagree with you there, but it is a very interesting point you're pointing out. They are completely two different authors. However, I like this one better. Would you like some cheese? I have cheese. See? It's much more civilized. So that's the way I like to be. Anyway, let's get on to the new portion of the show, which is tips. Now, what I got the brainstorming about was, what are the things you do whenever you're smoking? Well, you socialize, right? You might sit there alone and smoke. Now, let's say you're alone and you're in your den like I am right now, and you got your records. You want to listen to your records. Now, record collecting is a nice thing to do. Now, what happened to me the other day is I was out record collecting, and I came across this little gem right here. It's Bobby James. Bob James, otherwise known as, by most people, I call him Bobby James. Now, Bobby James is a jazz musician. He's done many great works, and you might know him as the composer of the theme to Taxi, that show that used to be on in the 70s, you know, with Andy Kaufman and Christopher Lloyd and Judd Hirsch and Tony Danza and some other people. So that was a good show, and it had a great theme song to it, and that's Mr. Bobby James right here. So I was very happy to pick this up. I brought it home, I opened it up, and here it was, right? And I did not notice that there was a big warp in the record. Now, as you know, if you own records and you get a warp in there, well, you're fucked, because it's not going to play well. And I'll show you right now what happens when I try to play this record. Alright, there it is. Bobby James, track 1, Angela. In parentheses it says, theme from Taxi. Little known fact, the theme from Taxi is actually called Angela. People most recognize it as theme from Taxi, so in parentheses they had to put theme from Taxi. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this on the record player. Now, you can't really see the warp in it. Sometimes warps are small. So we're going to put it on. Alright. going to start the play. See? Can't listen to it. There go on. See? Oh. Hey. Keep skipping. So it's unplayable. So what I did was I went out and I researched how vinyl records are made, what they're made of, what the process is, and turns out they're kind of flexible. You know, if they get too hot, they start to warp. So I got to thinking. I use it up here. I read a lot about the different techniques. I think I developed a way to smooth out a warp on a warped record. And we're going to do that right now. Alright, so here we are. I'm in my kitchen. I got the record right here. What you want to do is you want to open up your microwave. This is a standard microwave. You take the record, you put it in, lay it right in there. Now, during my calculations, I have figured out through many complicated mathematical equations how much time I should put this record in here for. And what I'm gonna say is, if my calculations are correct, a good 45 seconds should do it. Now we're gonna hit it. 4, 5, and then you hit start. And then you just wait. Now it's done. Alright, so we want to open it up, pull it out. It's really hot. It's really hot. You gotta take it in the other room. You gotta take it in the other room. Alright. It's really fucking toasty right now. So what you want to do is you want to hurry up. Oh my God, we only got limited time. You can't go over a minute with this. I gotta get it in here. Get it up. Alright. Now you stick it under here. Okay, the plan is this. I'm going to have guests over for the next week or so. And I'll have the biggest person sit right there for hours at a time. I'm going to do that for a whole week. Alright? So I'll come back. It'll only be a few seconds for you. We're going to wait a week later and we're going to see how it goes. How you doing? Welcome back. I know it's only been a few seconds, but for me it's been an entire week, and I've entertained many people here. Now every time a group of people came over, I had the heaviest guy sit on that couch cushion, and unbeknownst to him, he was flattening out my Bobby James record. Now, here it is. We're going to open it up. By the way, I just want to show you Bobby James, Mr. Bobby James. Let's get a good picture of him. There he is. Look at that guy. Unbelievable. What a cool guy. Let's see if this worked. Let's see if my calculations were accurate. So we're going to pull the record out. We're going to look for the track. So there you have it. It worked. I put a warped record in a microwave. I stuck it under a seat cushion. I had a big fat guy sit on it for a week. And then warp was gone. Music was fine. Got me dancing, feeling loose. And that's just a useful tip for you that you can use in your own life. I'll see you again next time on Smoking Over Here. Toodles.